Hello and thanks for watching this Cloud9 ERP Solutions video and subscribing to our YouTube channel. In this video, we're going to talk to you about how to easily add fields to an inquiry screen. And right now we're looking at our sales order inquiry screen. So this is out of the box. It shows all of these different columns. And if we scroll to the right, you can see a couple of extra ones. If we click on our gear button to bring up the column configurator, you can see there's a few additional fields that aren't on. Let's turn them all on. And now you can see additional fields here. But for the purposes of this demo, I need to see the state of the customer's shipping address. So how can I add that? The easiest way is if I go to my gear icon here, you'll notice I'm using the modern UI. And I go into Edit Generic Inquiry. All of those fields are included under the results grid. So if I wanted to add state, for example, the first question that's asked is, what's the object? Object, in layman's terms, is essentially the database table. So I can see here B account R, branch, customer, PM project, and sales order. So if I look at, for example, customer, I could try to find the state, but it's not there. If I look at B account, which is short for business account, you can see it's not there either. And if I look at the order itself, you can also see it's not there. So how do we add the state if it's not shown in the available objects? Well, we need to add that particular object. So if we go back to data sources, you can see all the tables that are already part of this generic inquiry. So what we're looking for is something related to the tables that are here that might include the state. Now, there's a couple of things you could do here. If we wanted the state of the customer, meaning whatever state's defined in the customer profile, we can click here, and Acumatica shows you a summary of this particular table. They call it a DAC, Data Access Class, and all of the different fields that are in that table. But it also shows you, if you go down, the outgoing references. But if we go back, maybe we want to pull the address off the actual individual sales order, because that's really what's most important for the purposes of getting the state for our sales order inquiry screen. So let's click on that. And let's search for address. You could see SO address on the left-hand side, but you have your bill address and you have your shipping address. And they're all included under SO address. But the key is this particular field. So you have a ship address ID and you have a bill address ID. What does that mean? Well, in order to connect tables together, if I have two, let's say, spreadsheets open on two different monitors, and I have my sales order on the left with all its different fields, and on the right, I have my shipping address. In order to connect the dots, I would use the ship address ID from the sales order in order to look up inside the SO address table. Otherwise, you'd never know what is the correct address that you want to pull up. So setting all that aside, now that we know our state is going to be in the SO address, and we don't want the billing address, we want the shipping address, we'll go back to Acumatica, and we can click this Add Related Table button. This is a little cheat to show us just tables that are associated with the SO order. And if we search for address, you can see SO address here, but Acumatica's done the work for us, and it says linked from billing address or from shipping address. Again, we want the state from the shipping address. So we'll select this, and then we click this button here. Keep in mind, you have to do this to get the relation. If you just click Add, nothing will be done here. So we'll click Select Related Table, It'll do all of the joins, which is the technical term for the things that people do in a SQL query analyzer or SQL Studio. Now we'll hit the add button. And now we have that SO address table. Now the work has been done for us. So under relations, you can see, well, how do we relate to the SO address table? Well, that's done automatically for us here. So that's what the relations table is for. But if I go back to results grid and I add a new result grid line item, essentially another column, the object is going to be this newly added SO address, and we want the state. So we could pick the state, which is the code, or the state description. We'll pick the state description because it looks better in the demo, and we'll hit the save button. Now, when we hit view inquiry, and we scroll over to the right, you can now see the state. So what did that get us? The ability to add a new column, a new piece of information. Well, now you can do reports, you can do filters, you can see, show me all the sales orders that are shipping to New Jersey. You can even do things like create a pivot table. If we wanted to, we can click here and say equals and put in Washington, apply it, and now you can see the filter here. And if you wanted to save the filter, you can click this button here and see Washington shipping orders. You give it a name, share it with others, maybe make it your default, and now save it. So now it'll show up here under your list of different types of filters. So that's how we add a new field into any inquiry screen in Acumatica. And then we could use that data for further reporting, for further filters. We can get a count on our dashboard, see how many different orders are going to Washington. Hopefully you liked this video, and if you did, please click the like button. And if you have any questions about this or anything else Acumatica, feel free to reach out to us. We'd love to hear from you. Thanks again, and have a great day.